And as much as the chassis is brilliant and the features and the warranties are fantastic and the suspension is phenomenal, it's fully committing to that mixed wheel size that really makes this such an entertaining and addictive bike to play about on. This is just properly brilliant.
My name's Guy Kesteven. I've been a professional bike tester for nearly 25 years, and today the bike I am live ride reviewing on the super technical downhill trails of Wharncliffe Forest in Yorkshire is the brand new Santa Cruz Bullit.
So what is the Bullit? It is a beautifully engineered premium Santa Cruz CC carbon fibre chassis with 170mm travel at either end, 64-degree head angle, 77-degree seat angle, 495mm reach on this XL, 475 on the large, but with a really short 430mm seat tube on the large, so for me to size up and get that extra reach really isn't an issue. It's got 438mm bottom bracket height and a short 449mm rear end, but it's also mixed wheel size. So you've got a 29er up front and 27.5 at the rear. Santa Cruz don't want you to call it the name that rhymes with Bullit though, because it's been engineered from the start as a mixed wheel size bike. And of course the big news is it's now got a motor, and not just any motor, brand new Shimano EP8, and this motor is absolutely brilliant. It's a lot smaller than the Steps E8000, so 310 grams lighter, which is a lot, and it means they can build a really short, or relatively short, back end onto this bike. Again, that's another bonus of having that smaller rear wheel. And now you can get the Heckler MX as well, which is new motor, 27.5 rear and shorter travel, and that takes weight down to around 20 kilos. But even this 170 travel monster, still only 22.2 kilos for this extra large, and that's a significant difference. Just the sort of the management of it, just getting it in and out of the van, lifting it through doors, as well as how easy it is to climb back up again, and how long you'll get from the battery. I mean, if you're a Wharncliffe local, I can only apologise for the way I'm riding them today, but even so, this bike, the confidence it's giving me is outrageous. That's the guy up front, and then you've got that Minion DHR at the back. So because that's smaller diameter, it just speeds up the turn radius at the back and changes the scrub rate, so the back end cuts in much quicker than it would on a same size wheel bike. And while my riding on these tracks is far from perfect, this bike is just brilliant for exploring. Whew. Yes, proper super techy stuff like this. Well, this is where that EP8 really comes into its own. 630 watt hour battery to power you straight back up again. Personal uplift, not a problem. And the traction on this bike is just phenomenal. I think there's some serious rocks under these leaves, and it's just powering up, no problem at all. And you got a 77-degree seat angle to give you brilliant poise. So even with that 495 reach on this extra large, it's not lifting up all over the place. What a gift. This is the top of the range bike, so box battery 38, and then super deluxe rock shock. So you've got full low speed, high speed compression adjust both ends, and the shock gets the high flow piston. So as well as loads of support in the corners, when you're proper rallying it, it still handles square edge hits really well, and the stiffness of this carbon CC frame just makes it super accurate for riding the ruts. And also they've kept with a 2.5 front and then 2.4 rear, so it still cuts okay. There's a real palpable difference between the two ends, and you're just sat in the middle of this best of both worlds balance, which is really lucky when it's as slippery and sketchy as it is in Wharncliffe today. And as you'd hope, you've got 200mm code brakes, front and rear, which I'm using far too much. I'm riding stuff well beyond my pay grade here this afternoon. The handling is just absolutely impeccable. It really is, and because it's light, when the trail gets sort of more flowy and horizontal like this, it's still super easy to move about. And then of course you got that EP8 motor surge, and you can see just the way it's reacting so quickly and yet tracking so well. Oh damn, you know, they might have come in for some criticism on the heckler for it being kind of a little late in the standards, but this bike is incredible. You know, it's light, it's insanely capable in terms of almost turning me into someone who looks like they can ride black trails, but still agile and responsive enough that it's a really fun trail bike on contouring trails like this, or even, you know, big days out. That 630 watt battery gives you proper play all day capability. Riding with Paul, he's on a Bosch bike and he's already gone from 80 down to 30%. I mean, he's in E-MTB and I'm in trail, but you know, we both seem to be cruising up the climbs similarly easily. I think we're about 6 or 7 runs deep now. I've only used one bar. And this has already been legs done, day over, without the motor. I mean, theoretically got 80% left, and this new system's got a much better walk mode for things when things get properly steep, and also there's loads more customization you can do through the E-Tube app. So, you know, Shimano have taken their time bringing this motor out, but they really have leveled up to get themselves right on top of the power stakes again. And when you've got a crazy playground like Wharncliffe to explore, having that big battery capacity is obviously a real gift in terms of how many runs you can get in. And it's not just the battery life that's built to last either. You know, it's got all those awesome lifetime warranty on the frame, on the bearings, on these reserve carbon wheels you're getting on this top spec bike. So you're getting a DH wheel on the back, and then the standard 30mm on the front, and it's got that super neat e-bike specific Santa Cruz handlebar with the groove that hides the cable under the grip. You know, it's only a small detail, but it's just kind of shows the level of thought that's gone into this bike. I mean, it costs an absolute fortune, but it's properly flawless. Oh, it's so nice getting back to these trails we started on now. These feel so smooth and flowing after what we've been riding, the black bits. This is where this bike properly comes alive, and it just carries speed. I mean, obviously 27.5 doesn't roll quite as well as a full 29, but you know, the way you can surf it around, you know, I am no schralper. I might be a scalper on climbs for King of the Mountains, but I'm no schralper on downhills and berms. But you know, this is the kind of bike that you can just move around. It's just got that amazing confidence, agility and playfulness for such a big bike. It's just a joy to goon about on. Woo! Yes!
So there we go, Santa Cruz Bullit. Absolutely insanely competent, confident, but just most of all, overwhelmingly fun mixed wheel size gravity play bike that'll still rack out trail miles. I mean, that battery has lasted brilliantly, but my battery's running out, frankly. So massive thanks to Santa Cruz for lending me the bike. Massive thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel with a monthly pledge, and they get extended behind the scenes and exclusive edits as a thank you for that. They also get high level communication in terms of sort of buying advice and tech advice. So if you like what I'm doing with the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Links at the end. But otherwise, please subscribe, please click for notifications, give this video a thumbs up so it gets picked up by the algorithms. There's going to be a tech talk around on this bike as well, because it's absolutely filthy now, and I'm sure just through sheer terror I've forgotten a lot of the details what I'll be descending here at Wharncliffe. But anyway, I'm rambling on as ever. I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kest TV on the absolutely fantastic Santa Cruz Bullit.
But no test would be really complete without a quick blast around Stainburn. Certainly not one of a long travel bike, but oh, this is so planted, so grounded. This really brings home how brilliant the suspension is on this bike, because I have not ridden this track in a long time, because frankly I didn't want to smash my leg again. But this just feels, oh, I've just got all day down here in terms of front end accuracy, and then the back end, you can just feel it's so playful and poppy. And that Asagai DHR combo just sorting out the nastiest of root threads, and then whoa, when you let it go, jeez. Oh my sainted aunt, damn, this really is the best of both worlds. Insane speed, but with amazing agility. So just cuts in really nicely around there, even with 1300mm near as damn it wheelbase. It's just super agile. I mean, if you've ridden Stainburn, you know what a flow-free environment this is. But mixed wheel size works so well around here, and this Bullit is just brilliant on this kind of terrain. Oh yes, Santa Cruz. Oh, go Shimano. Look at that boost, that's in trail, and then all that travel just lets you let it fly wherever you're aiming. And all the bikes starting from the entry level are, get this, RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate piggyback air shock, and on this reserve version you can opt for a coil as well, but this air shock feels incredible. Oh hell yeah. Bullit, what do you call it? Just so much fun. No limits, multi-run, do whatever you want. I mean, that's the thing, it's just brilliant for hustling single track and flow trails as well, because the pickup from that Shimano motor is so seamless and the pedaling manners are so good. It just drives brilliantly on trails like this too. Oh, I am loving this bike.
Yourself?
I am, sir, I am.